What's up, guys? Welcome to Our Love, Our Journey. And today we have another episode from my very loved by me series called Things I've Learned to Find Happiness, aka Things I'm Learning to Find Happiness, where I test try, all these things to find happiness. And from my experience, report to you guys and see what I believe works, whether it works in the short term, midterm, or long term, to give us the best quality life humanly possible and cracking the code to actual human happiness. Thank you guys so much. I believe we're at episode 4, which is pretty awesome. So let's dive right in, guys. So this one is hilariously, really meaningful to me because it's something that has been one of the biggest struggles in my life. And what it is stopping trying to change others. OMFNG. All right, guys. So I think this is probably gonna really apply to half of the world. I think that some half of the world naturally just doesn't have a inclination to do this. But if you do fall into this, you're gonna see how much freaking drain and unhappiness it brings you, and how ironically it never freaking works. So, by nature, I believe that my brain is wired to want to try to lead and guide and inspire in some way. And not for the sense of power or anything like that, but genuinely for the sense of, I want to be able to, as far as I understand, I'm sure there's always going to be some selfish motives, but like I want to be able to really help people, because I really do believe I can. If I do know something that can help them, why would I want to watch them suffer, right? So I think what I get from it selfishly is that I get the sense of being the source of help, right? Where I like being the go-to person. It makes me feel more validation or validated on some level. But on the flip side, the selfless side of me, it really does want to see people live the best quality life. And that's what drove me to even do this channel in the first place. And if you guys have been down this road, you know how freaking hard it is to watch somebody suffer, especially I think for most of the world, if you guys have kids that's, becoming teenagers or something like that, then I could imagine, even though I don't have kids, I could imagine it's that same kind of feeling where you're like, hey, danger's right there. You keep walking toward danger. Oh, I don't want to keep telling you because I know you're going to rebel, but like, man, 911, I don't want to see you suffer. And then you just got to sit back and watch them suffer. And it's freaking hard, guys. It's really freaking hard. And so I've experienced this a lot with, romantic relationships with friends, family, people that I care about. And the more close you are to me, the more you get the raft of this, of Joshua. And it's finally clicking to realize that no matter how you do it, no matter how much effort you put in, it freaking does not work. Never has, never will. And then it starts making things worse. It makes you way more unhappy, which is the reason why I'm doing this on this episode. Because for me, I realized that was probably possibly my greatest source of unhappiness, ironically, was trying to overhelp people too much, right? And not let them make their own mistakes, watch them walk into a fire and get burned. That's hard to do, but it also makes your relationship with that other person just really, really suffer. It's really caused a lot of freaking pain on even the relationship that I'm in now with my fiance from Our Love, Our Journey, right? Like I'm seeing how that freaking has put a toll on us in our relationship, because she's like, dude, shut up, I'll be okay, I'll live. And I'm like, but no, you're gonna burn yourself and then life's gonna suck, and I'm watching you sit here and suffer. And you really have to kind of get to the point where I think you're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch you suffer, I'm still going to love you, but I can't emotionally be too far in. I'll be there for your emotion, but I'm not going to, you're gonna have to get yourself out of this on your own. Because eventually I think it turns into enabling them, because then you're trying to avoid it, and then they come to you for freaking to save them, and then you save them because you care, and then it's just this vicious cycle where I think that finding that balance is very, very tough, of when to help, how to help, and in what ways to help, and then when to back off and all that. So we are going to talk about this probably tonight with Rasavia on our other YouTube channel called Personality Type Q&As, where we go into personality behavior. But let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so that's been my experience with it. It's been extremely tough. I'm finally realizing that it just does not work. It doesn't matter what my intention is. It doesn't matter where my heart's at. It doesn't matter how much I try, how little I try, how nice I say it, how masculine, aggressive I say it. It doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't work. It's just a broken process. And so it just stresses me out and brings me a lot of pain. The impact it's had on my life to learn this. I'm still learning this, okay, guys? So this isn't one that I've mastered by any means, but I would say I got about 30% better. And to me, that's made a massive difference in my life and my stress levels, guys. Oh my gosh. So I think that I could actually get the hang of this thing and get quite a bit better. I don't know if I'll ever get 100%, but I think I can get to the percentage where I can watch more than I interact, right? Or try to help and save, right? Which is freaking bananas to say out loud, but I think I can do it, right? And I think I can do it pretty quickly, as long as I can keep my awareness up, right? It's a lot of meditation and things like that. So I would say impact on my life, extremely high. You know, if I can conquer this thing, then that can really, really change my life completely on every level and just cut my stress and pain down so significantly. You know, I love people, guys. I love helping people. That's what I live for, is to learn things so I can help people. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's my sport in life, is growing myself so that I'm able to give and help others grow. And so doing that, I didn't know part of the journey would be learning that you shouldn't always help, right? It almost feels like a button I just always want to push, but it's like, no, don't push the red button. I'm like, but I just spent my whole life learning how to push the red button. So now you're telling me not to. It's very weird discipline, but it's starting to pay off. I like it. So I'll rate everything on, so it goes short, mid, or long-term happiness. So I would say this gives you all of those. Definitely gives you short-term happiness because you didn't dive and jump in emotionally, right? It's for me, it's when you lose that emotional foundation stability where it starts affecting your emotional state. That's when you've gone too far. Like, it's already like, you took a step too far and you got to pull back. And if you are able to pull back, man, does that really help you in the short term, but midterm and long-term happiness, because long-term, because you're saving your relationship, guys. It can really put stress in your relationship, and you got to let the ego go, thinking that we know more than anybody. For us to have the audacity to think we know more than anybody is freaking pretty, if you think about it from an outside perspective, that's pretty egotistical. So, everyone has their own journey in life, and maybe that's what's best for their life, is for them to walk through the fire. So let them go. I would say, so all three for sure. Simplicity, easy to do. Yeah, well, for me, I would say it's 9 out of 10 hard. Because it's such built in my automatic DNA, and I care so much about those that are like really close to me, where it gets very, very tough to not. But I like when things are that tough because it gives me something really fun to enjoy the process and the journey of achieving and conquering one day. So even though it's hard, it actually makes me, I genuinely feel a sense of excitement inside. Learning curve, practical use ratio. I would say the learning curve is extremely high for me. For others, it probably won't be nearly as much, but the practical use ratio is massive. So I think it's a very, very good ratio there. What consistency do you have to have at it? I realized anything is better than nothing, but the more consistency, it really, really, really does compound and matter, because you can kind of get in this groove. So I'll go a few weeks where I do awesome, right? And then I'll just choose one day. I'll be like, screw it, I don't want to do it today. I don't want to freaking be passive today. I want to freaking jump in. And then when I do that, I start the momentum the other way almost instantly, it feels. So I'd say as much as humanly possible is very important. If you can keep your brain fixated on it, and I'll tell you a way to do that, but you can keep your brain fixated on it, makes it a lot easier, so you're not staying in that unconscious just reaction state. Best sources to learn. I couldn't find much on the internet that really gives you a step-by-step. However, I didn't spend too much time looking around either, so I'm sure there might be some stuff. But I would say, guys, best sources to learn is just from yourself. The more you can watch yourself, which really helps me is, watching myself on YouTube and stuff, and just wanting to do this and close my eyes and be like, oh my God, do I really do that? Do I really, try to control that much? Am I really trying to? Because it really comes down to just being controlling, right? And so for me, I never saw myself as controlling until I started watching myself back on YouTube and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's causing me a lot of pain. Oh, that's why every time that happens, I see my mood change for the rest of the day, right? How about not worth it, right? Plus, it just destroys your relationship, like I said. So I would say here's some bonus tips of what to do, okay? So I would say, one, you got to find out how to get that in your conscious as much as humanly possible. So I would say even sticky notes on the screensaver of your phone, on the lock screen, put things that say controlling, check control, have you controlled today? When's the last time you controlled? Things like that to keep that consistently on your brain. That'll work for a couple of days until your brain goes numb to seeing those things. Then when that happens, I try to do different colors of sticky notes so that my brain doesn't just see it as, oh, there's that sticky note that's on the fridge, and then it wakes my brain up a little bit more. I would say also surrounding surrounding your or recording yourself a lot, and then keeping consuming that and surrounding yourself with a lot of those videos would definitely help. Record yourself around whoever. Find where your sense to control comes out. So for me, it's my spouse, right? So once when I'm around her, I know my sense to control is that, especially when she's doing something that I consider crazy. Then I just gotta watch her do it and just be like, oh, that's interesting. And what I try to do is I try to get more curious. And stay very curious to the behavior. And once I get curious, for some reason, it doesn't really get me frustrated. So I think that's the best approach in life for happiness. One of the best approaches in life for happiness anyway is curiosity. I think that's why babies are so happy, because they're so curious, So I'd say stay curious. And then I think meditation is the foundation for everything. I know I say it a bunch, but that's the way to start seeing this automatic behavior and to be able to start stopping it. So I would say definitely meditate daily if you can. Even 3 minutes a day, guys, on Headspace is enough to really, I don't know if I'd say it's enough, but it still is going to be extremely helpful. Way more helpful than not doing it at all. Okay. So I think that's also very important. And yeah, and I think that's probably about it, guys. I was trying to think if there's anything more I can think of. I guess the last final thing is you gotta, I guess the last two things is, one, you have to accept reality. The reality is you can't really change reality as far as they go anyway, in the way you want. The chances of them actually becoming the person you want and all that is very low. And then how selfish is that? It's their life. They should be able to live the life that they want. And it's very selfish to try to make the reality better just so it suits you. And I bet you once you got that reality, you still find something wrong, because you probably wouldn't be happy with it. And then the last point, guys, is to just freaking, at the end of the day, you can only control you. So worry about you. That energy that you want to, you get some new information and you want to go share it with somebody else and be like, look, see, this is going to help you from your problems. It's really judgy. And it comes off judgy. And even though your intention isn't judgy, it is judgy on some level, in my opinion. So I would say as soon as you have that sensation, that get curious about, why am I doing that? What is this need? Why am I feeling like good enough right now? I'm going to share. And then what can I learn about myself in this moment? And just keep worrying about you and building you up. The best chance I think that you have to change in somebody is to change yourself at the end. If you want to talk logic and the best statistics, I would say change yourself. So that's about it, guys. So I hope that helps. I hope that's been, you get some gem out of there, if any. I love this series, guys. I'm going to keep bringing more videos of things I discovered to bring me so much more happiness in life. And I really, really hope you guys try some or all of these, and let me know which ones actually stick and you see the positive impact on, and which ones don't. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, my name is Joshua. It was really fun hanging out, and I guess, guys, I'll see you in the next one. So I cannot wait to see you guys on the very next episode. Take care. Peace. See you guys.